Hello, my name is Steve Cabot, and I am a management labor relations consultant. I'm chairman of the Cabot Institute for Labor Relations. We represent management in various consulting assignments on behalf of our clients, which are employers. Previously, I had practiced law as a management labor lawyer. I ceased practicing law a little over 2 years ago when I formed my labor relations consulting company. We represent employers in various phases of labor relations strategic consulting. I am here to share some thoughts about a recent appointment to the National Labor Relations Board. That particular appointment was for a Greg Becker, who is allied very openly with organized labor. President Obama made the appointment. It was a recess appointment, and despite Obama sharing with citizens in this great country of ours that he was for transparency, he decided to rebuff his principle of transparency by this quick recess appointment, when in fact the Senate of the United States, at least the majority, made it very clear that the majority of the Senate was not in favor of Mr. Becker. The reason, again, is because the National Labor Relations Board, consisting of 5 people, where they're headed and spend their time in Washington, D.C., to enforce the National Labor Relations Act, is an agency that should be as objective as possible. And to have an avowed liberal, and I'm not exaggerating, in the writings, decisions, in various public stances taken by Mr. Becker, he has made it very, very clear that he is exceedingly pro-union, exceedingly prejudiced in favor of unions over companies. And that type of person has no place in being on a 5-member National Labor Relations Board, who should be as neutral and as objective as possible. That doesn't mean that appointees are 100% objective or 100% neutral. It's just that they ought not to be predisposed and publicly predisposed about positions that they've taken and will take in the future about matters involving employers and unions covered by the National Labor Relations Act. It was my hope, and the hope of many Americans, that the NLRB under Obama would be reasonably objective, and that's not the case. And in fact, for the first time in over 30 years, the pro-business U.S. Chamber of Commerce has opposed Mr. Becker, when in the past there were many Democratic appointees and many who were not as objective as some of us would have liked, but the Chamber did not oppose the nominations. In this case, because again, Mr. Becker is so liberal, is so public in his stance and his prejudicial positions, Mr. Becker should not have been nominated. He is, and as a consequence, in working with companies, in trying to create workplace environments that produce cooperativeness, that produce greater morale, greater productivity, which makes not only the companies great, but secures jobs and helps make our country greater. Those companies that I'm working with and others have a lot of challenges in light of where the NLRB will likely take us. We as employers will need to be very prepared, ahead of the curve, in working so hard in advance to make sure that they will not be the subject of Mr. Becker's biases. I should note, to make it clear, that on behalf of the Cabot Institute for Labor Relations, works with both union and non-union companies. Some of the non-union companies want to retain their non-union status. Some of the unionize the employers that I work with want to build a workplace environment where they can not be controlled and dominated by the labor union in place. So that we're looking for strategies that can enhance the workplace. If there's any other questions that people have, you're more than welcome to contact me or contact the Cabot Institute. Contact our website. That information will be made available at the end of my discussion. And in part, I must add, in terms of Mr. Becker, that one of the things he said, and it scares a lot of people, and I include myself, is that he is going to try to find a way within the rules of the National Labor Relations Board to do away with elections and to have what is called card checking, that a labor union could gain a representation status by having employees in a workplace simply sign union authorization cards. And once 50.1% or a simple majority have signed such cards, the union would be automatically mandated as the collective bargaining representative. As some of you may recall, this was a provision in the Employee Free Choice Act that was proposed and supported by Mr. Obama, but it has not gone so well in Congress, and the card check provision is one that, as I understand, has been removed from the draft of the bill, which likely will be voted on sometime over the next year or two. But in any event, Mr. Becker is going to try to have his way by not even worrying about legislation. He wants to mandate the elimination of elections mandating card checks through the rule-making power of the NLRB. It is just absurd in my opinion. I think it's inappropriate, it's unfair. You can choose your own expressions about it, but the fact of the matter, this is again another clear example of the road on which Mr. Becker is trying to take us. We all need to be prepared. If you have any questions, need any help, don't hesitate. You can please feel free to call me, contact me on my website. You could please get more information about the Cabot Institute by looking at our website as well. Good luck.